Hey, how's it going, everybody? Bert Brian here. Before I get started, a quick warning. This video is probably going to be a little bit longer than most of the ones I post here. This type of video I normally post on my YouTube channel. It's what I call Whatever Wednesdays. Used to be Tall Can Tuesdays. It's just a video series where I get to talk about what's going on in my life, the future of the channel, answer random questions submitted by you, the fine viewers, and talk about random topics. Today I don't have a whole lot to talk about, but I still wanted to try to do this on Facebook rather than going to YouTube, because again, a lot of my YouTube videos just really aren't getting a whole lot of views, and I figured, well, maybe I'd start supplementing and start doing more stuff here on good old Facebook. Before we get started, again, this whole series is really about just talking, enjoying some beers, no bullshit, unfiltered, and I'm adding a new aspect to things today. I'm going to be enjoying a cigar. We've got an Arturo Fuente Gran Reserve Rothschild Natural, so this is a more mild to medium cigar. I've been slowly starting to learn a little bit more about cigars and getting into bourbon. Talk more about that in a few minutes. Before we get started, I'm going to go ahead and fire this bad boy up right here. And, you know, I've really have come to enjoy a good cigar. It's just something that I never really thought about getting into when I quit smoking cigarettes when I was 30 years old. Haven't really thought about them since, but I don't know, some friends of mine have been, you know, getting into this bourbon and cigar thing, and I was invited to a gentleman's club. Thanks, shout out to Kenny for letting me join that group. I'm trying to really dive into this and learn more about, you know, cigars and bourbon and how well they can pair together. So anyway, let me get this thing stoked up. And you know, with cigars, you're not really inhaling them. You're just enjoying the flavor profile. And I've just really found that I enjoy lighting one of these up, sitting back, relaxing, letting it burn slow, enjoying some beers. Here soon, enjoying some bourbon with it, but yeah, that was so smooth. When I first started getting into cigars, I didn't really know what to buy. I got these giant ones like Cohiba Red Dot, which is a huge one, and I got a few others that are a little more full-bodied, a little heavier on the tobacco, so, you know, it's a little bit much as a beginner, so I've been trying to find a few more that are more in the mild to medium range, kind of, you know, work my way up to some of the larger, more well-known, harder to find cigars. But just in general, for me, it's just like I enjoy craft beers and good food and fine wines, things like that, and cocktails. I like to try new flavors. I've cooked for most of my life. 13 years of my life I was in kitchens, and I learned so many things over those years, and I enjoy trying new flavors, picking out flavor profiles out of certain things. Whiskeys were always something that I enjoyed on occasion. Going out to a whiskey bar it can get very expensive. I mean, it's amazing what the costs of some these high-end whiskeys are. And, you know, some of those are probably a little overrated for the value. A $4,000 bottle of liquor is a little bit crazy to me. But in today's video, I'm going to be enjoying Equilibrium straight out of the laboratory. This is a triple hopped, no, just a triple IPA, not triple hop, just triple IPA, 10.2%. Says beer balanced by science. I'm kind of curious how they're using science to balance this out, but hopefully it's involving a variety of very good hops that go well with malts and barleys and all the other good stuff that goes into making a good beer. Again, this is a triple IPA, 10.2%. Oh my Lord. Got a lot of head there. I've got a good couple fingers ahead. Solid 3 fingers. Looks like your typical triple IPA. It's got a little bit of a darker, slightly tanner head, so it's not, you know, much of a white head there. It smells really tasty. How's it taste? Oh yeah, the beer mustache. No, it's actually really nice. It's got a really smooth flavor. Not at all very much bitter. It's a little bit dry, almost warm in the mouth, but it's rather smooth, refreshing, pretty easy drinking. Not at all bitter. I like it. 10.2%. You know, that's pretty solid, and it's not you know, it's not overly alcoholic. I'm not getting a whole lot of alcohol tones off of it. It's a smooth, easy drinking beer. This was a good choice for today's video. So, as I mentioned, I don't really have a whole lot of topics to discuss. Like always, I ask you guys if there are any topics you'd like to hear discussed in future videos. Doesn't matter how controversial, whatever the topic is. There's certain things I just can't talk about based on career and other things, but I will talk about most things here on this channel. And if you have ever any questions about anything, throw them down below in the comments. I always write them down. I'll make sure to get to them in one of my next videos. I did want to talk about cigars. So again, as I talked about getting into this another new hobby, probably another expensive hobby, at least looking at the whiskeys that I looked at today, it's definitely an expensive hobby. But I found this cigarclub.com. Actually went there. It's a subscription service for cigars. And I thought, well, where I live here in Keystone Heights, we have a very poor selection. There aren't very many cigars available. There's one store that I found so far that carries a pretty decent selection. Though it doesn't really look like their humidor works. It's, you know, I hear fans running, but there's a big crack. The door is wide open, so I don't really think it's doing the best job. So I figured I would try out one of these services and, you know, just kind of see what it was about, see if they would send. You get to choose your experience level. So if you're mild, you're a beginner in this whole process, then, you know, they'll try to curate some cigars that they think you as a beginner should, you know, experience and try out. And I'm really curious. So they had a 5-pack for $40, I think it was, something like that. So it's $40 a month. You get 5 cigars sent to you. And then I paid for, you know, $10 extra to get 2 more cigars from, I guess, last month's selection that they sent out to people. So that gives me 7. I wanted to make sure I had a couple when I go on vacation to be able to enjoy. Because again, it is nice to just sit back and relax, you know, poke on this thing as I want. I don't have to smoke like crazy. And it's just, it's nice. You do get a little bit of a nicotine buzz, even though you're not inhaling it. It's still in your mouth, and, you know, you're still getting some of the effects from the nicotine, which is kind of nice. But anyway, the Cigar Club's awesome. I started watching some of those guys' podcasts that they do from that channel or from the subscription service, and they were talking about different types of whiskeys that are underrated versus those that are overrated, like the Blantons. There was a couple other big ones that they typically find to be overrated. And, you know, it's funny when I never realized there was a lot of controversy with whiskey prices and what they see as MSRP prices, and then what stores are jacking those prices up to so that they can make a huge profit off of you as a consumer not knowing. I mean, it's crazy when you see an MSRP versus what they jack the prices up to. It's similar probably to buying cars, where the manufacturer has an MSRP price and then the dealership's got a $20,000 you know increase on the price of the actual vehicle you want to buy. You want to buy at MSRP. But you know, I found a couple pretty decent ones. I went to a different local store. I normally go to Lee's Discount Beverage here in town, but you know, the store has changed a lot. It's no longer owned by Mr. Lee. The store has kind of become really crammed, packed full of stuff, and they don't have a lot of these kind of unique selections that I thought that I would be looking for. And I was happily surprised when I went into what's known as Alfie's here in town, and they actually had a really nice selection of high-end, medium, as well as, you know, lower-end whiskeys available. One of the ones that were recommended during the podcast was something called Benchmark Bonded. Apparently, this is a Buffalo Trace product, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong. If you know better, let me know in the comments. But this is only a $20 bottle, and apparently it's just become really well known as a solid 100 proof, great tasting, you know, tequila, single barrel that you could use in, you know, just a wide variety of things, drinking it straight, mixing it in different cocktails, things like that. It's got a lot of good uses. But one that I'm really looking forward to trying, I think I'm going to wait until this weekend when I get a couple other things in the mail. But I found the Old Forester 1920. This is 115 proof, so we're looking at 57.5%. I heard a lot of good things about this one. This is about a $50 bottle here, and so that's about your good mid-range for what I'm seeing on a lot of these whiskey bottles. You know, things like the Blantons and others can get way up into, you know, thousands of dollars, which is just insane. You're spending, you know, $100 at a whiskey bar to have a very small sniffer of whiskey, and it's outrageous to me. Those are, to me, probably, I mean, I would love to experience it. If I have some rich friends out there that have some of these whiskeys, they would be willing to let me try. Hey, I'm more than willing to come over and sample it, but I don't see myself buying anything that expensive, at least not yet. Take another big sip out of this. Oh yeah. So that's been fun, this whole cigar and whiskey thing. Now I just need some more local friends to get together with so that we could have whiskey and cigar nights and talk. But unfortunately, I don't think I have any friends in the area that are into this kind of stuff. I do. Thanks for the, to that gentleman's club that I joined. It's nice. There's a few really nice guys in there, and I do plan to hopefully ride out and see my friend Kenny again. If you haven't seen the video on my YouTube channel, I went and did a review of his family's Cuban food truck that they had. It was absolutely outstanding. All of the food I tried was great. His mother and father run the food truck, and they were wonderful people, very sweet. They were very kind while I was there, and it was nice to get to interview them. And I really look forward to going back and having more of their food. But he has mentioned that maybe we could get together one day in Lake City, probably, not Lake City, he lives in High Springs, get together and have, a dinner, enjoy some whiskey and cigars and talk. And so I'm definitely going to try to do that sometime here in the near future. It'd be a fun getaway. Speaking of getaways, I'm so hyped and excited about my birthday that's coming up in 2 weeks. We're going to be heading out to the Confluence Cabin, which is in Brantford, Florida. It's on the Itchnatutney River, or connects with the Santa Fe, all that stuff. Beautiful cabin. If you go on and look at Verbo and you look for Confluence Cabin in Brantford, you'll find pictures of everything about the cabin on the outside. But stay tuned, following me here on Facebook and on YouTube. I'm going to be doing all sorts of stuff, posting videos out there. I'll be doing some reviews while I'm there, bringing a cocktail machine with us, the Bartesian. So I'll probably be doing some cocktail reviews, things like that, just trying to get away from everything here, from work and your normal life, even though it is really peaceful here. I love living where I live, right on the waters over there. Right across the street is, Lake Brooklyn. It has been pretty low lately, but it is coming back up, and hopefully we get a really active hurricane season this year with lots and lots of rain. And I don't know, maybe between now and next year we could start seeing it back up to normal levels again. But anyway, I do love where I'm at, but it's just nice to get away from, when you work from home, seeing your house every day, every morning, evening, afternoon, you're just in your house, and then the weekends come and you do the same thing. It's nice to be able to just get away from everything for a little while and enjoy some time in another place that's nice and it's not your house and you don't have to worry about anything. The other cool thing about the place we're going is we can take our dog with us, and that was kind of a big selling point. It was one of the things we were really looking for in a vacation spot. We wanted to be able to take Link with us. My pit bull really doesn't get to do a whole lot. He, has some yard space that he gets to run around in. He doesn't really have a lot of friends, other dogs that he gets to hang out with and spend time with, because he's really a spastic nut that just jumps on everyone. And, last time we got together at a doggy birthday party, he was trying to hump some dog's mouth. He's just has no couth about him. But when we go to this place, the cabin is completely surrounded by a giant fence. It's a huge fenced-in yard, and we have a private dock that runs all the way down to the water's edge, and it's just really beautiful place. And definitely looking forward to just letting him run and be free and have fun again. It's just one of those beautiful things about getting away and spending time in a cabin down by the water, the river. It's going to be beautiful, amazing. Anyway, I don't really have a whole lot else to talk about today. I guess stay tuned. I know over this weekend I'll probably do some videos showing off the unboxing of the cigars that I got. I was contacted by someone recently, actually today, that was mentioning a whole bunch of hot sauces and products, some goodies. They're going to be coming out in the next month, so they're going to send me out a big goodie box. I'm looking forward to seeing what comes in. Really looking forward to doing some of those reviews. As you know, I just got a box of hot sauce from Retro Burn. Definitely looking forward to seeing what they make over there. I've heard nothing but good things. All natural ingredients. They have a good commercial kitchen. They're doing everything legit. So definitely looking forward to trying their flavor. I did put a little bit of their Crazy Train spice on a piece of pizza last night. That came out pretty damn good. Anyway, I think I'm going to sit back, toke on this cigar a little bit, finish this beer, enjoy the rainy weather that we have today. It's a little bit cooler than it was earlier and not quite as thick in the air. There's a little bit of coolness around. So I'm going to try to enjoy my Wednesday evening and get ready for the last 2 days of this work week until we can kick back and relax on Friday evening. So anyway, thanks so much for watching. As always, stay toasty, my friends. We'll see you in the next video.